It's said that summer leaves Summerset after any other place in Ushea. These lands are warm and fruitful, home for some of the best wines and olives. Summerset Castle was initially a vacation home built for the Lord of Highbrook, but after Argus gained its independence from Meria as a consequence of the Sapphire Wars, it was given to one of the lesser lords, Lord Pandula, and eventually it was turned into the castle it is today, a castle to defend the eastern shores of Argus. Lord Pandula's great-grandson, Lord Aylan Pandula, is now ruling the castle. Lord Aylan is a troubled soul and is now spending most of his time in the peaceful castle garden, and for the winter time the Lord had a glass-covered winter garden built inside the castle. Hey guys, Viggoman here and welcome to Summerset, a side project that we're going to be working on for a little while. Look at this beautiful castle we have here, and just a little while ago you heard some lore drop for this place, and I think it turned out amazing. I really hope that you guys will enjoy today's episode where we take a look at this, and then we had of course the time-lapse in the beginning here. If you did so, make sure to smack that like button and consider leaving a comment if you have any feedback and ideas for this place. And there's going to be one more part from this place where I'm going to be building the surrounding bits here, which is going to be a lot of farms and a little bit of a small settlement surrounding this place. But for today, we're going to check out the castle of Summerset. I love the style of this one, where we have this clay or brick looking textures all over the place, and it's kind of a mix between the traditional British castle, medieval British castles, but it's also taken some inspiration from Mediterranean, because Argus, as we know, is sort of a Mediterranean inspired kingdom in this world. So that's really cool. Let's get straight on with it, shall we? The building is, or the castle is somewhat symmetrical. So we have this gate in the front here, and then we have two parts on either side, which is symmetrical. And then we have this symmetrical keep in the middle. It's more or less symmetrical, the window placements and stuff is varies a little bit, but the general shape of it. And we have another gate on the west side of the castle here, or this side here, which is going to be a small side entrance. Inside the castle we have a small chapel for the lords, a small stable, we have armory, a house for the servants, a blacksmith. We also have over here the castle garden, which I mentioned in the lore, a very peaceful place, which is really cool. On all the corners we have some battlement towers like these ones, where we have arrow slits and then upper deck to defend with some nice crenellations. And for the gate we also have some bigger towers on. On the top of the castle we have towers on either side, but we also have this winter garden, which we're going to check out in just a little bit. From the front we can see this awesome silhouette of the castle here, and we can also see the banner of Summerset, which is red and yellow checker pattern with a dragon in the center here. That's why there's also a dragon above the gate here, and it's here to scare off any enemies. The gatehouse itself is very well defended. In the back here we have a small storage area for all sorts of stuff. And then the opposite side we have the staircase, which takes us to the upper floor where the actual defense happening. It's quite dark in here, don't mind that. Let's go all the way up here where we have access to the arrow slits on this side. We can then enter the castle walls on this side. Look at that. And also we can enter the castle walls on the opposite side here, actually on top of the gatehouse, where we have the mechanisms for the portcullis here, and we can even get on top of the crenellations here to defend it. On the opposite side here we have the area for the guards to stay, so they can sit here and eat and sharpen their sword and just talk. There's a little storage up here like that, and also access to the arrow slits in this one, and a door taking you out to the castle walls, which is cool. And then from the center part here, there are some ladders, which are quite scary to climb, honestly, but it takes you on top of the towers for the gatehouse, where we have arrows and then access to the crenellations. On the western side of the castle there are two main features I want to show you. One of them is the chapel here, which is quite bright, standing out from the rest here, and that is because a chapel should be looking quite unique. It's a very weird architectural style, but I think it might work. Let me know down below what you think of this one. But what I do love about this thing is the interiors. Look how colorful and awesome this is in here. It's quite small, but it's big enough for the Lord and his family to do some praising. And next to that, we have the castle garden, which is over here. And as we talked about in the lore, this is where the Lord spent most of his time, if it's not up in the winter garden, which we're going to take a look at in a little bit. In here we have a massive old oak tree, which is decorated nicely with these hanging bits. I don't know what that is, but it looks cool. And then we have some blossom trees and just a lot of vegetation of all sorts, flowers, bushes, everything. We have some sitting areas, birdhouses, lamps so you can see there in the nighttime even. And a little like statue here, a little bench as well. It's just a super cozy area. On the eastern side we have three buildings we're going to take a look at quickly. We have the armory over here, which contains most of the armor and weapons used by the castle, like that. And then over here we have some more in the back. Very simple building, but it gets the job done. On the back side here we have the servants building, and this is where the servants for the castle is staying. They have this is where they do the laundry of the castle. Everything they do is basically outside here, where they do working on stuff like this is like a guy working on some planks. Maybe there's something broken inside the castle, or outside, who knows. But yeah, this is where the servants live and where they kind of work mostly. Inside here we have a couple of rooms with some bunk beds for the servants to stay at, like that. Nothing too fancy, but it works. Yeah, here as well. And then there's a door to the back here. Quite overgrown here, but yeah, just like a little back entrance, some storage, and it takes you through the laundry area here. And straight out to the final building on the eastern side, which is the blacksmith. The blacksmith here has a nice forge on the outside, a massive pile of firewood here, and a little workshop area with some anvils and areas to work with the tools it's making. Inside we have, let's take a look at that actually. And we have a little storage area for the blacksmith, so the tools he's making and whatever he needs to get the job done. Just like a little shed almost for him. But through this door we get to the blacksmith and his family's house living quarters. So in the first floor there's a little kitchen area, dining area, and all that sort of stuff for the family. And then upstairs we have like the living quarters. So we have a day bed, the master bedroom over here with a wonderful balcony. Look at this. That's pretty awesome. And then yeah, a sitting area for them, and then a small bedroom for all of the kids. The western gate is smaller than the main gate, but it's also pretty cool. We have of course a dragon up here to scare away enemies, and it's looking really cool. It's a smaller version of the main gate. It's very similar though in the style. On the upper floor here we have a small interior, and then of course access to the arrow slits so we can defend this place. From here we can go to the interior of the towers. This is the same for all of the towers, and basically just a little area and then access to the arrow slits so we can shoot some bad boys from here. And then there's a ladder taking us up to the top of these as well, where we have a flagpole like that, but also access to the crenellations to defend the castle. Now let's get to the main part of the video here, the keep of the castle. This is where the magic happens. The gate itself is very simple, but of course we have already defended the castle quite well. But you could close this off and of course defend it from the towers there. So let's walk up here and take a look at the interior. When you come in here, we have this quite grand looking hallway. It's nothing too fancy, but it works. Straight ahead we have the dining hall. Look at this awesome massive dining hall or feast hall. We have a big heart in the center here, and the table is filled up with food from this year's harvest. We have some windows up there as well, and then we have the banner of Summerset up on the wall there. Basically just a massive room. There's even some ways to look down from there, or from the top into this place. There's a little hidden door. I bet you didn't see that. But this takes us to a little storage area for the feast hall. So there's extra tables, extra chairs, maybe extra like cutlery and stuff being stored in here. And it's supposed to be like a hidden door because, yeah, you don't want people to go in there, and you don't want your guests to look at it as well. So that's the feast hall. On the right side here, we have the kitchen area, which is quite big. We have another big fireplace or oven here to cook. They're cooking a pig at the moment. And this thing here, like a stove thing. In the center we have like a working area where we have whatever. And yeah. And then here we have a little side door taking you into the feast hall for easier serving of the food. Around here in the corner we have a washing station, so we have some water here to wash the dishes, and you can put them in this rack here to dry them. Quite cool. And a small rack for some wine and beer and whatever. On this back like hallway here, there's a little door taking you outside to the blacksmith area, so like a back entrance to the castle. And there's also a little pantry over here for all sorts of stuff. Around here we can get to the staircase, which takes us upstairs, but I think we're going to leave that be because there's another staircase as well, and it all leads to the same place, just because I want to take you through here and check out the other, like, yeah, this other side here. So we come in here, we have a small, just like, what do you call this, foyer or something, where they just... a room. I don't know what to call it. Very simple. And then over here we have small back room, so there's a little living room thing. It's not used that much, but it's from here you enter the garden, so it's like a little side room thing. And it's not like one of the main living rooms, and not like anyone's private chambers, but it's just like here. And here there's also another staircase, but before we check that out, there's a small staircase leading down underground into the basements. So basically it's just a big basement, which is open. We have, this is where we store the beer, it's also where we store the wine and food, like a big pantry as well. Everything is stored down here in this massive cellar below the castle. And then we go up. We take out this staircase here, which wraps around and around. From here there's actually a door. Oh, I clicked something. There we go. I clicked it again. There we go. A door taking us out to the battlements, which is quite convenient. This is kind of the main way to get on top of this gatehouse here. You could also go from the other gatehouse and walk along, but this goes straight into this gatehouse here. Anyway, let's check out the interior, because that's what we're kind of doing at the moment. We come out here, we get to a small... So the idea is for the second floor, this is mostly for counseling. So this is the floor where the maester or the magister stays. This is where we have the meeting rooms and the offices and all that sort of stuff. So you come in here, there's a small like... I don't know what to call this, but a courtroom or an area to meet up and discuss stuff. And as I said, the Lord is a troubled soul, and this is his office. As you can see, the desk and his chair and everything is just tucked up in the corner, and he has put in this nice like couch thing, and he has a glass of wine, and that's basically what he does with his time. He sits in here in his office pretending to work while he's drinking wine, and apparently he's also spilling, looking out over his land in the north here. So it's not really a productive lord, but he has his problems, so let's just leave him be. And in here there's a little storage area for some books and stuff. And then we go over here. Here on this side we have another meeting room, which is a little bit bigger, or it's smaller, but it's space for more people in here. Quite cool. In here we have just like an open area. Again, there's quite a bit of these, just like halls, and it's just nice, like a nice area to relax. And this is where you can look down onto the feast hall. This is actually a beautiful view, if I'll be honest. Over here we have the Maester's office, and Maester or Maester or Magister or whatever, the wise man helping the Lord. This is his office, and he does some work actually. He's a hard worker, and he has some scrolls here, and yeah, it's a beautiful office. I'll be honest. Over here we have his bedroom, and it's pretty big. He has a big bed here, a big tub. This is awesome. Some beautiful colors as well. Nothing too bad. From here, it's just like a little hall, and this takes us to whoops, never mind. Takes us to the staircase, which we didn't go up. But I guess let's take this one further up, shall we? And then again here we can get to the castle walls on this side. But let's move up here one more round, and we get to this part. And this is where I think the interiors really peak with this castle. I'm very happy with the way it turned out, and I spent a lot of time on it, so I really hope that you enjoy it as well. So you come up here, it's just like a little hallway thing here, but this is the blue hallway, and we have these bluish pillars, we have some blue decorations, the floor is also made of this blue marble thing, whatever, blue sitting areas, blue details, everything is like blue or green, and I think it's awesome. Even the ceiling, you can see we have some painted blue planks up there, so pretty cool area, where we have a fireplace in the middle here to heat up this hall. And this is the hall for the Lord and the Lady of the castle. So in here we have the lady's castle. First, when you come in here, we have the boudoir. So this is where she does lady things like making dresses and stuff. Yeah, and it's pretty. It's red. It's nice. And through here we have her bedroom. So she has a big bed, and it's quite cozy in here. But then the cool thing here is she also has her private little inside garden. Look at that. There's a tree in here. It's quite tall, and we're gonna be up here in just a little bit. But she has a private garden, and this is where she relaxes. But of course, as I said, the Lord also has a garden, which I'm eager to show you. And then in here is just like a storage area for the lords and the lady, like their garderobe, wardrobe, I mean, yeah, all that sort of stuff. Further on, we have the Lord's chamber. He has a massive bed, and as you can see, there's a lot of different textures on the walls here. Try to, kick it up a notch, and I think it's working a little bit, at least. A small area for him to sit and talk with people here. He has a bathtub up here, and yeah, you could kind of imagine looking out here would be pretty nice. And then a small like living room, private living room, with a fireplace and a small sitting area. Quite nice. Let's close the door. Further on here we have another hallway, walking around here like that. This is the other staircase, and yeah, quite open here, letting a lot of natural light in, which is awesome. And then there's a small balcony overlooking the garden and the ocean here. Very cool. On this corner here, there's a little, this is like the bathroom for the Lord and the Lady. There's a garderobe here, so basically you're just pooping straight down, which is awesome. And then, yeah, some areas to wash your hands and whatnot. Now, if we go back over here through this blue hallway, or the blue hall, we get to another staircase which takes us up to the upper floor. And here we have this little extension which is inside the lady's private garden. Quite cool. Anyway, the upper deck here, or the upper floor, is open. So it's like an atrium. Is that what it's called? Inspired by like Roman architecture. In here we also have a little balcony. And like that, just looking over at the entrance here. And this is where we have the winter garden. So this was built for the Lord because in the winter time, where he couldn't spend too much time in his outside garden, yeah, he was getting very depressed. So having a garden like this where the plants would stay alive all year was needed for him. So here we have more like tropical, like this, like a yucca palm and more tropical looking trees. Pretty cool. On this side here we have yeah, a small sitting area like that and a little flower bed like that. And then we have a bedroom for one of the kids here. Again, very colorful interiors. Been trying to, as I said, kick it up a notch. So it's not too big, but it works, and it's definitely not something you'd complain about in medieval times. And then back to the hallway here. Around this opposite side we have a bigger table for like bigger gatherings outside here in the summertime. That would be awesome. And we have another bedroom for another of the kids here like that. And yeah, again, nothing too fancy. And we have two more bedrooms over here. These are meant as guest houses, so, or guest rooms, so they're quite small. Like that. And then we have here we have a ladder taking us up to part of like the battlement. So we have these small hallways into the arrow slits inside these towers here, like that. You can kind of walk all over around this place. And then we have some ladders taking us up to the top here, where we have some nice flag posts like that, and then yeah, access to the crenellations to defend the castle. And that, my friends, was the tour of Summerset Castle. In the next video, we're going to be working on the exterior. By that I mean the farmlands and all the stuff that's happening outside the castle wall. So that is going to be awesome. So make sure you stay tuned for that. Anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching. I really do hope that you enjoyed. If so, make sure to smack that like button. And if you haven't done it already, make sure to subscribe. It's been Viggoman, and I'm out.